Six Plymouth, what did they call it? Grand Fury. There's the front porch with the rhododendron. That was before we put the roof on it. He hadn't been out in the country very much. Now there's Nace and Wes and Dottie. We must be down at the coast. Yeah, this is the place. A little creek cove or something like that. We were camping up by Everett, Washington. We went up to, what did we do? We went up there to see the King Tut, I think, the King Tut display in Seattle. And we pulled way up there to Everett before we found a place to. Here's our little trailer and house and car. Now we're eating at our house again for some reason. That's Mount St. Helens. This is a Columbia River from the Washington. Here we are camping at Depot Bay. We took our trailer down there and camped at that holiday something or other. A nice place. Right on the ocean. It's a picnic out of Lake Oswego, and Mary's mother was here. I can't remember what year. Of 10, and it was little. We're up when Mount St. Helens first started acting up. We went up there quite a ways away. We wanted to see what was going on. There's a little puff of steam coming out. This was when there was first started to think maybe that something might be happening. You can see that it's gotten hot. That almost all the snow has been melted off the mountain. A little bit there, but not much. There's a poof. And you could hear noise. This is not the big eruption, but the big eruption happened on the 18th of May in 1980. Is that what it was, 1980? This is another spot that we drove up to watch it. There used to be a big puff right there. The news people are up there to observe it too, taking pictures. There's another puff of, that looks like black smoke coming on it. No, here's Mary's mother and Mary's aunt, Fran. And what did we do with them? We took them a trip. I guess that's all there was to it. I think this is Mount St. Helens blowing. Yeah, there it is, way over there in the distance. We went up I-5 towards Woodland. Called Tom and Bonnie and told them to come up and watch this thing, and they did. Pretty historic event. This is down on the Columbia, somewhere in the Rainier area. They had the dredges out there because so much silt went into the river in the Columbia from the Toutle River, the Lewis River, from Mount St. Helens eruption, that the ships couldn't go through. So the big old
We the voices behind the face of the Hawaiian nation, the Hawaiian race. Rise for justice, the day has come for all our people to stand as one. Ela we the voices behind the face, the Hawaiian nation, Hawaiian race. Rise for justice, the day has come for all our people to stand as one. Ela power of the people is the people. Oka piko ke aloha oka aina, oka aina. We the warriors born to live on what the land and sea can give. Defend our birthright to be free. Give our children liberty. Ela, ea, 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 ea. Te huli hoi ka pākini alamihi, on the days of the alamihi ways. Te kiko I ka piko o ka mana o ka poe. Power of the people is the people. The people ke aloha o ka aina, o ka aina. What the land and sea can give. Defend our birthright to be free. Give our children liberty. Ela, ea, ea, ea. Ela, ea, ea, ea. Ela, ea, ea, ea. Ela, ea, ea, ea. Ela, ea, ea, ea.
This is our second trip to Hawaii. This time Bonnie got to go along with us. Talonbine, Di and I went with another baseball team, and we really had a lot of fun the time with all four of us. I can't remember exactly what year it was. I would guess 1978, somewhere in there. I think we're on the North Shore of Oahu again. Tom rented a thing. It's a horrible thing, the Volkswagen made in Mexico by crazy people. I think this is Marv and Mary Lee Ruick and Tom and Bonnie. And Dottie and I went over to, some other couple too, I think it was, went over to Kauai and did all those things again that we did one other time, only more so. Really had a good time over there. His tombstone with Mary Rolfe's name on it. And those guys are all in swimming on the shore of Kauai. Now we're back in Honolulu again, and we're having a brunch on top of one of the hotels there on Waikiki Beach. Beautiful view from up there, looking right down into the ocean, not at the ocean, but into the ocean. Bugs or something. I mean, you see these fires smoking up the area. This is a Hillsborough Legion team playing up. Oh, what was the name of that place? Punahou School. It's a private school. Looks like he's had a pineapple or two. Another hour's gone by. It's 9 o'clock in the evening now. Little clock on the corner telling her. Now we're back on Kauai again. Unbelievable. Oh, these things are really mixed up. Red Knoll, Burl, walking through the water. I think the battery's running down. There's something flashing on here that I think what I better do is stop here and charge this battery back up. This is was playing shuffleboard and all that kind of stuff at the Royal Cohio. Same deal when we were over there. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's the ball team. We went up to play at the University of Hawaii. It was pouring down rain. Didn't think we were going to get to play ball that day at all. And somebody called down to Punahou. And Punahou says, "Come on down." Not Punahou, but that ballpark right by the downtown Waikiki. "Come on down. It's not raining here." So we went down there and played ball. There's Wayne Sprecher. Tom looking like a groundkeeper. Hawaiians letting us do the work. This was a goofy game. Tom pitched some. Or racing boat. That's a swimming pool on top of Cohio. What the heck that is? This is a trip we took in the This is a motorhome. This is I think it was late spring of 1980, I think. East and West and Dottie and I, they rented the motorhome and we drove it. And we went all the way across the country and came back. And this is Dottie going to a... And there's his boyhood home that was moved there from... So I think it was someplace in Texas. And then the... I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's the Truman Library in Independence, Missouri, right just outside of... That's Truman's grave. This Independence, Missouri is just outside of Kansas City. That's some little store campground we stopped at just outside of Columbia. Now we're coming into St. Louis, and there's the Mississippi River. I think the arch will show up here pretty soon. There it is. It's almost an optical illusion that you can see. Now we've gone up into the thing and looking down the Missouri River and see those ships down there, and there's Busch Stadium. That's yeah, we're hopping in again. It wasn't the greatest place. We had to camp there. Dorothy's writing some cards there. Here again, her hair looks like it's red. What's going on? Here we are in Monticello in Charlottesville, Virginia, the home of Thomas Jefferson. This was probably one of the most interesting places that we stopped at. It's still at Monticello. This is the state capitol in Richmond, Virginia. I believe this was the capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War. We went in that building, very interesting building. I found a place to park. Now we're in Arlington National Cemetery in Washington. And that's the grave of John Fitzgerald Kennedy and the Eternal Flame. I don't know where the Eternal Flame is, but it's there someplace. There it is. Tomb. Today and I walked up to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Here are these guys. And that's a big amphitheater up there where they have a lot of Memorial Day services and things like that. It's quite a walk up there from where Nice and West didn't go. They stayed down at the motorhome. There's the Washington Monument in the distance. These guys fishing on the Potomac and planes taking off of the National Airport. Everything was quite casual in Washington at that time. It was, I could say, somewhere around May, and it wasn't very busy. Except the airport, man. It was out right at Mount Vernon. Home of George and Martha Washington, right on the Potomac. Pretty fancy old house. And I mean old too, 17 something. Which is what they would call probably the front porch overlooking the Potomac River. Which is all the buildings where the slaves worked. Blacksmith shop and cooperage shop and all kinds of buildings out there. There's the grave of George and Martha Washington. Now we're at the Washington Monument, and now we're up in the Washington Monument. Elevator tickets up there, and I think that was the Jefferson Memorial, and it's the, what do they call it, the reflecting pool, looking towards the Capitol from up in the Washington Monument. All the buildings. There's the White House. That's leading up to the Capitol building. Get a pretty good view of that from the top of the Washington Monument. You're really up there. Kind of looked away, and I don't know where we are now. I think that's the Lincoln Memorial. That's Ford Theater. Nice picture of the Capitol. I think we're in Gettysburg. I never could understand the Battle of Gettysburg, even after looking at all these charts and driving around and everything else. And that's what that is. It's Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's some tower where you're supposed to be able to see. Get it through your head how the Battle of Gettysburg went. I never did. We went up there, but I still couldn't. Out there somewhere it's supposed to be. There's all the graveyards at Gettysburg, and out there somewhere it's supposed to be Eisenhower's home when he was acted like he was president. There's another cemetery. Somebody pointing out Eisenhower's farm. Now whether that's it or not, I'm not sure, but that's what they told me. There's our motorhome down there parked. Lots of parking places. Little store. Tolls. You know, I think this is Tanglewood, where the Boston Pops Orchestra, Boston Symphony plays in the summertime. And they have a lot of tryouts for different musicians and places like that. We're in Stockbridge, where Norman Rockwell did a lot of painting. This is a museum on the corner of where they had some of his original paintings in there, and we went in there. And right there is supposed to be the building where he painted out of that window there. A lot of the street scenes of Stockbridge. Good old Yankee, New England flavor of these paintings. You were going up towards Williams, Vermont. Now where are we? Oh, now we're I guess we're at Old Ironsides. Yeah. Yeah, it's Old Ironsides. We're going into New Hampshire, I think, from Boston up into Maine. We were riding in a horse and buggy in Quebec City. Cold. It was so cold. We about froze. We were supposed to be enjoying ourselves, but I don't know whether we did or not. Interesting city. It's not a very friendly city. They'll speak French, and if you don't, they don't. I think we're in Niagara Falls. Yeah, there we are, Niagara Falls. I've been at this all night, and it's midnight. I even had to stop and recharge the batteries. I think we're about coming to an end of this reel. After we leave